Shit, I could have been anybody. Thank you, God. I'm blessed to know that I am him. Ooh. I completely understand why these niggas mad, motherfucker. I told you before. Why? Go get a bag, I sacrifice my blood, sweat, and tears for opportunities, speaking things into existence. True fruition, I can punch someone's clock for 20 years for a pension, or take a chance on myself and make a sound decision. Option number 2 sounds more I like it, cause with that choice, I can make my life more exciting. These hoes got delusions of grandeur and don't motherfucking care. I don't motherfucking care. Aorta made by Frigidaire. Norfolk nigga, but on the globe I've been about everywhere. Factuals. Up Temple still my favorite Nike Air. I love to wear. These niggas act like bitches. These bitches act like niggas. I just stay away from fuck shit and focus on my digits. Women lie, men lie, but the numbers don't pay attention. This recipe of mine is only from my kitchen. Lord knows I be chefing up, whipping, motherfucker, straightening this medicine. Here's your prescription. She loves the fact I speak with such precise diction, so the bird blew me down without a Twitter mention. Cold Perrier in the crystal glass on fizzle, playing Resident Evil 4 on the PlayStation Fizzle. I command you to go get you some money, some words from Young Jizzle. I document my life whenever I decide to scribble. Pay these weak niggas in dust. In God I trust. I need that cheese in the bread, piece of the stuffed crust. My mind can move mountains. Neurologically I'm really clutch, like the Black Mamba in the 4th quarter with the shooter's touch. I got that killer instinct. Westbrook Russ, rule of thumb, if you ain't fucking her, my nigga, don't fuss, save your energy, do something productive. You know what's up. Take some time for self and get you together. That's a must. Right. I'm so grateful, thank God. Thank God. 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 Testing, 1, 2, testing, 1, 2. Yeah. We are finally live. We are finally doing this live stream. I know, it's been some people that's been waiting on this particular live stream. And I said today is the day. And what better day to do this live stream on than this day right here in particular. If you know, you know. Appreciate everybody that's in the building right now. Give me just a second. All right, we good. I'll check the levels. Check these levels right quick. All right. OSD Live Reloaded, aka Also Dope Live Reloaded, is the channel. Thank you all that's been supporting by hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, sharing the live stream, sharing the channel. Thank you all, man. It means a lot. All right, I had to turn the volume up on my end. I couldn't hear myself all that much. But we are here. We are back with another segment. Again, I apologize for, me pushing this live stream back, so many times like I did. But I said, what better time to do this live stream than today, on this particular day in particular. And if you all haven't on abreast of, the live streams that I have scheduled, you might want to check those out too. We're talking about some different topics. Again, this channel right here we're going to discuss the tough topics, the topics that people know where things are going on, but don't want to speak about it. And also I want to hear you all's perspectives on the topics as well. That's why I make sure I invoke some type of conversation when I choose the topics to speak about, because I know everybody has their different point of view on things and how they look at stuff. So that's why I want to make sure it's important that, I get your perspective as well. Like this live stream in particular, it says topic panel. I see that when you put open panel, people on the outside looking in, thinking it's an open panel about anything you're speaking about in particular, but not speaking about, but anything outside of what you're speaking about. And so I use topic panel to let people know that if you're watching a live stream and it's a topic that you're interested in, feel free to hit the link and share your thoughts as well. Because again, that gives me insight, and I feel like that's the content in itself when you're able to hit the link, share your thoughts, whether you agree or disagree. The link is not there for, just someone that agrees. The link is also there for someone that disagrees or have a difference of opinion, and I'm completely fine with that. Always making my link available. I will make my link available, of course, after I get through, the show, and, I'm going to say what I have to say about the particular topic. But again, thank you all for hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button. The channel is growing. Been doing some good content. Been trying to structure some future content on the way, which I've been doing, of course. And I'm just appreciative of everybody that's been supporting the content. It really means a lot. And I just want to say thank you. Again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share the video, share the channel. It goes a long way. I'm just grateful just to be able to do this, each and every time. But this particular topic in particular was one that I wanted to, shed light on and, give my reaction and, shed light on things that, are put in front of our face, and see the power of media and how it's able to shape what we see to what they want us to see. And who better to speak about than Killmonger? That's why I titled this live stream, "What did Erik Killmonger believe in? A modern day reflection." And again, this is a topic panel. So if you're in the audience right now, you're listening, thank you. And again, I want to extend that olive branch to let you know that you can appear on the panel in this particular live stream to discuss this topic. Whether you agree or disagree, I will definitely like to hear your thoughts. So when we speak about, Erik Killmonger and Black Panther series, we all have seen the movies. Actually, I gotta confess, I didn't see the sequel to Black Panther. Just the whole sequence of events that was, leading up to how that movie, transpired and what was going on with it. And of course, the death of the main character, it was just a lot going on. So I didn't even get an opportunity to actually watch the second one. But the first one was one that to me spoke volumes, and Killmonger's character in particular, because I'm hearing the reviews, I'm hearing what people are saying, and their views on Killmonger. So then when I finally get the opportunity to watch the movie and see what it is, that everybody was speaking about the character. Of course, Killmonger is the character that Michael B. Jordan played. But I'm speaking about the character. So the character, Killmonger, and I'm seeing, his story, and I'm looking at his story, and I'm just like, well, how is everybody seeing him as a villain? I didn't. I'm one of those people, and if you're somebody that's watching this live stream right now and think otherwise, like he was a villain and this in this chain of events, then feel free to share your thoughts. But to me, I didn't see Killmonger as a villain. I actually seen him as a product of his environment. An abandoned child left to the streets of Oakland, where, well, he was actually abandoned by T'Challa's father, which is his uncle, after his father passed away, where he was supposed to return to Wakanda, but he was abandoned as a child by T'Challa's father. So that right there is where the resentment came from. He felt like he was actually robbed of something. So, I understand, how that can shape a child's mind. And as they grow up, they have all types of anguish and hate for family, and the thoughts that they have, especially when they don't have understanding. But, with family, regardless of whatever you go through, y'all share the same blood. There's going to be some love there regardless, some kind of compassion. But the Killmonger story, he makes his way. Of course, he wants vengeance. In most of these, comic books and movies, when you have people that they label as villains, they have a story. And 9 times out of 10, they're trying to avenge someone. And in Killmonger's story, he wanted to avenge his father because he felt like, and also claim his heir to the throne, because he felt as if he should have been in the running as the king, like T'Challa was. What up, Team Truck? Team Truck in the building. Factuals. Yeah, man. Killmonger, I definitely had to get my perspective on Killmonger. He's one of my favorite characters. And like I said, his story to me was amazing because it just shows, what a person been through, their environment, and how it can shape their mind to, them having the views that they have. And some people will say it's radical, but, what the guy been through, you should understand. He definitely, dude was a Navy SEAL. Definitely was on special ops. Had had special combat skills. Y'all seen the fight between him and T'Challa. Dude was skilled. He was Americanized. He didn't have the same luxury as T'Challa did to grow up in Wakanda. He actually was in America. And while he was in America, he's getting all types of skill sets. He's seeing how the world is around him and not knowing how life in Wakanda was. So that's why when he gets over there, he's like, oh, this y'all king? And when you think about, and why I raised the question, what did Erik Killmonger believe in? It was a lot of things. He believed in, the liberation for Black people by any means necessary. Because when you look at the character and how he was comprised, it was reflections of Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X, two popular Black historical figures in our history that had that mindset. That, of course, you can, we're trained. I'll say we're taught to, if you give respect, you get respect. But their philosophy was to, if you wanted to, you have to go take your respect. That's how they thought. You gotta go take your respect. You gotta go get it. And people will respect that about you, especially when people see that you stand for something, because if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. It's such a cliche saying, but it's so true. And when you see a character like Killmonger and what he stood for, a lot of, and for, the media and how the movie always has to have, the hero and the villain and how they portrayed him, it was crazy. I didn't even look at him as no type of villain at all. Just only a product of his environment. And he made a way out. That's the thing about it too. Like they don't really highlight the fact that he made a way out of where he was in the condition he was as a child and how he was left in that particular condition to survive. It was survival of the fittest. And I'm pretty sure his story is an actual story of, someone, that's of the community that's Black, that was raised the same way. Now, people say that this guy was wicked because, he wanted to take over the throne of Wakanda and start passing out vibranium weapons worldwide, and that's what made him diabolical and all these things. But it was really just for the liberation of Black people. His disdain came from his people being oppressed. He wanted to be a voice for the oppressed. He wasn't afraid to stand in front of that and speak. Even though, when you do things like that, people might not have your back. So when you go to do those type of things, you got to do that for yourself first. And that's one thing that I definitely, respected about the Killmonger character, is that anything he done, he stood on business. Very strategic. Knew where he wanted to take where he wanted to take his vision, where he wanted to go. Made it to Wakanda. He had the spat with T'Challa, but we saw how that ended. And in those kind of movies in Hollywood, it always got to be a hero and it got to be a villain. You can't have just all heroes. It got to be some type of opposition. And to me, I just didn't see how, Killmonger was an actual enemy or a villain, when in fact, he was the actual blood cousin of the heir to Wakanda. I didn't see him as a villain. He had all that hatred in his heart for T'Challa's father, because he abandoned him, leaving him to America and taking T'Challa to Wakanda and not taking both of them. So in a sense, it's this, he created his own Frankenstein. So when Killmonger comes over to claim what he feels is rightfully his, everybody's kind of in a disarray because they're not understanding, what his angle is, or where he came from, or why he has this thought process, because it was such a dark story that people, wanted to bury, like a family secret, wanted to bury it as if it never happened, when things like that always come to surface and you still have to answer for it. And, the resilience of Killmonger, he made it so that they couldn't deny it. They couldn't, try to rewrite history. These are all the things that I think about, with the Killmonger character. And, when he appeared, in the movie, the first Black Panther movie. And if somebody look at it that way too, and I can see how a person can look at it because he was looking to just help a particular demographic. Then you have Black Panther that wanted to help the world. I get that. And then it's that thing too, I think about how people they do things for their own, their own reasons. He wanted to give Black people liberation, while Black Panther wanted to give everybody liberation. I get it. But I still wouldn't look at him as a villain for wanting to get his people out of oppression. I would never look at anybody of their community, period, wanting to get their people, especially, I'll just say Black people. I'm not even going to include any other race. Anybody that look at, their community and don't like to see, because I spoke about it in live streams. It's definitely a sad thing to see a person that shares the same reflection as you volunteer to be oppressed, volunteer to be embarrassed, volunteer to just want to, just make themselves just a joke, just want to be a joke. It's a sad thing to see Black men conduct themselves in that manner. That's why I do the live streams that I do when I speak about my people, because the best way to speak to your people is for you to be of the people. It's not going to take another race to speak to your own people. It won't resonate the same. That's the only way to get the attention of your own people. Selena, 3 times in the building. What's going on, Selena?
Factuals.
Appreciate you pulling up. Black people have to, and I'm not even gonna sit here and say Black people have to check Black people, because it's not about checking. It's about bringing some kind of sense of awareness. That's why the character Killmonger just appealed to me, because of everything that he stood for. That's just what it was. I get it. Black Panther, wanted to be the worldwide hero. But what Killmonger stood for was for the greater good for his people. Thank you, Selena. I hope all is well in your end as well. Thank you. I just, putting a villain tag on someone that was a product of the environment and making it out, that could be a bit much, but people are entitled to their opinions. But I'm just one of them people, and I've had conversations with other people too as well, about the Killmonger character, and they saw my viewpoint too, and how, they was like, yeah, I don't look at Killmonger as a villain either, but we know in Hollywood, you have to have a hero, you have to have a villain. But to me, I just didn't see Killmonger as being that, a villain. He stood for something. And just like all Black historical figures, well, I'll say all Black figures that stand for something, they have to meet their demise early. The characters that, was a representation of him, like I said, Marcus Garvey and Malcolm X, you see how they went out. You see how those figures went out. That the way they did Marcus Garvey, man. The way they did Marcus Garvey, man. But his name didn't go in vain, because we still know about him to this day. I'm speaking about him. Everything, all the blueprints he left, the work, it's still notated. Like, we know who he is. We know who Malcolm X is. They used his own. Whenever they want to bring you down, they're going to use your own. In a live stream like this, I speak about the Killmonger character, but again, it's just one of these live streams too, where I want to bring some sense of awareness too. It's one of these live streams that I want to bring some sense of awareness, and just to tell my people, wake up. And I want people to be, like, oh so dope. He's trying to be like a revolutionary. And I'm not trying. I know I am. I know I'm one of those people that has a voice and able to convey whatever it is that I need to say, and it translates. I know I'm one of those people. So if you call it a revolutionary, that's cool too. But I say it's more so me, just trying to show some awareness, and trying to give awareness too, because these are actually real things that's going on. Yeah, I'm speaking about a fictional character, but those world struggles that those characters have went through in the movie, they're actually real life events. SBK in the building. What's going on? Factuals. I had to do a live stream about Killmonger though. That's my dog. I seen the Funko Pop bobblehead in the store, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta get that figure for sure. My man got the Infinity suit on. Thanos had the gauntlet. He got the actual Infinity suit on with the stones. It's crazy. But I say all that to say this, the things that Killmonger stood for were things that I didn't see or view as him displaying villainous ways. Some may say it was a bit radical, like I was saying earlier, or a bit like he was an extremist. But he believed it was necessary. And I don't want to get it mistaken too. I don't want people to mistake me when I'm doing this live stream, be like, oh, he's trying to rile people up to go out there and do something, on some by any means necessary. No, it's not nothing like that. But I'm just saying, stand for something. I'm just speaking to the community right now. Stand for something. Yeah, it's a time and a place for everything, but you should always be grounded in something. You should always be grounded in something. And what I mean by that is you should always have some type of structure, some type of foundation. And having that means knowing who you are as a person. You got to ask yourself, what do you believe in? We know what Killmonger believed in. We saw his character and what he's in the business that he stood on. But when you take that fictional character and bring it to reality and ask yourself, what do you believe in? What's your answer? I raised the question similar to that when I was speaking to black men. I can't even remember what live stream it was, because I'm always thinking about the betterment of people, or betterment of my people. But I always ask, when you look in a mirror, what do you see? What do you see when you look in a mirror? Forget what you think about other people. What do you see? Because when you know what you see, nobody can't tell you who you are from what they see. That is the message. Just stand for something. We got to get back to having some type of foundation. And what I'm seeing a lot of now is just, people's foundation being comprised of all different types of entities telling them who they are, which doesn't make for a sturdy foundation. It's too many people adding to the blueprint when you should be the only architect to your blueprint. That's why I always stress, just being mindful of the things that you say, because of digital footprints. No, Team Truck, you definitely wasn't. No, and the thing about it, I've had this viewpoint on Killmonger, the Killmonger character, for a while. Like I'm watching the movie, and the whole time I'm like, okay, so where does the villain part kick in? And I get it how Marvel Studios shape it and make it seem like, oh, okay, he's the opposition, and this is who they have to battle out. But Killmonger actually believed that he needed to go to Wakanda first before he start trying to check everybody else. He got to check the homeland first. That's why he went to the homeland first, because he was like, I need y'all to understand my story. I need y'all to understand why I have this mindset, why I have all this anguish, why I have all this hatred in my heart, because I need answers. See, people was looking at him as a villain, but like I just said, all villains have a story. Now, it's some villains in stories that really did some really fucked up shit. Don't get me wrong. But in this story in particular, he was just a product of his environment. So how you gonna go around trying to check all these various places when the homeland doesn't even have a grasp on your mindset? And see, the reason and why it was such a shock, when he came home and he got the reaction he did, is because nobody knew his story. that's just like how it is in any walk of life where you go at, nobody knowing people's story. And I'm not saying people are going to actually sit down and just tell you their story and all that stuff. No, I'm not saying that at all. But you can get pretty much a good idea of a person's story if you let a person talk long enough. Especially when it's a person speaking from experiences and, just had a lot of things, transpire in their life while they're on their journey. We are all books walking around here. We are all books. Some of us, being more open books than others, but we all have stories. We all have stories. And I think that's what makes, podcasting and content creating easy in general, because if you're a person that's had a laundry list of experiences, then the possibilities are endless as to how far your creativity can go, and also those experiences shaping your foundation. You having some type of structure already and going through the experiences that you go through in life, it can either make you for the better person or the worst person. But if you're a person that's mentally strong and able to, persevere, then, it'll make you a better person and it won't bring the worst out of you. So when I see this Killmonger character and, what he stood for, it's very commendable. It's very, very commendable. You said, SBK, you said MLK, Malcolm X, similar to Black Panther. Okay, yeah. I definitely see the comparison. Yeah, Black Panther. And Black Panther, what he stood for too. He definitely, served his purpose too. And, rest in paradise, Chadwick Boseman. But Black Panther definitely served his purpose too. He was for his people as well, but he wanted to do it on a much greater scale and save the world. With the Avengers, and I get that. It was just two heroes to me that had two different perspectives on life. And they said that, the famous quote from Killmonger, we gotta recite that verbatim. I don't want to botch that up. I don't want to botch that quote up. Such a powerful quote, man. Such a powerful quote. Killmonger's last words in Black Panther: "Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage." That man said, "Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage." That was that man's last words before he died. That's heavy, man. Even in that time when things was crazy, Jamestown settlement, 1607. Our people jumped to their death rather than be enslaved. Of course, what was going on, but those are things that you don't even think about. Our people been through a lot. Hey man, SBK, bro, that was some powerful. Those some powerful words, man. Those some real powerful words, man. "Bury me in the ocean with my ancestors that jumped from the ships because they knew death was better than bondage," y'all. That's deep, man. That's deep, man. Those are some heavy words. That's some heavy words, man. That's something to think about. You know what? For those that's watching the live stream and for those that's watching the playback, that's going to watch the playback, like that right there is the message. that right there. That right there is the message, man. One of the messages, I should say. Like, what does that mean to you? Hearing that quote, what does that mean to you? If you're watching the playback, if you're in the chat right now, we're like, what does that mean to you? That quote right there. Our ancestors been through a lot. And of course, when you think about over 1400 something years ago, that's new. It's still fresh. It ain't even been over 1,000 years, y'all. That's fresh. It's just something to think about, y'all. That's something to think about, man. And that was one of the reasons, another reason why I paid close attention to the Killmonger character, for that to be his last words. It really told you and showed you, what the guy stood for. His people. by any means necessary. It was almost like the Harriet Tubman theory, where they were saying that she didn't mind killing her own people that got in the way of trying to protect Massa. Same train of thought that Killmonger had. And you understand that when you hear it. You understand when you hear that. You can't help but to understand when you hear that. You know, them last words, man, that's crazy, man. That's crazy powerful, man. Again, this live stream is just to bring some self-awareness. And I looked at what today was, and I said, oh, I still have the Killmonger live stream still scheduled. I had to do the live stream on this day in particular. I had to. I just was not going to keep pushing back the live stream, knowing how important this live stream was to highlight the character of Killmonger, which to me should bring self-awareness in itself and make people, you know, want to look into a character. And I'm just giving you my interpretation of the character and how I look at the Killmonger character and how, you know, I apply being resilient, standing for something, knowing who you are as a person, and not letting other people tell you who you are. All right, Selena, take it easy. That's heavy, man. Death before dishonor. Death before dishonor. That's heavy, man. Oh, and you was right too. Like that's definitely that is a statement to live by and to remember what our people went through. That like it just, man, that's impactful. That's some impactful words. And that was that man's last words. Right then and there. Almost as if he knew what his last words would be. That orchestrated. But you know, I didn't look at him as a villain. You know, I simply looked at him as someone that was trying to make a difference for his people. We're not going to always get it right all the time. But the most important thing is to take each day as it comes and making the best of each day. Trying to be a better person than you were from yesterday. And the only way to do that is to govern yourself, because you're always in control of your own actions. Right. Powerful, man. Simply powerful, bro. Man. He didn't want to be cared for, but wanted to die on his own terms. Powerful. Man. How can you not like the Killmonger character? It don't get no trailer than that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up the live stream with a topic link if you want to share your thoughts on what did Eric Killmonger believe in, feel free. The link is in the chat for anybody that want to come up, share their thoughts. You've heard mine. I think his story is amazing. It simply just, it simply tells, to me, it just tells Black people to stand for something. And don't let nobody tell you who you are. If it's history that you want to know, you go find it yourself. You do your own research. Of course, it's good to, listen to other people give their perspectives and tell you what they think, but you should always want to gain an understanding for yourself as well. I'm serious, y'all. This was really dope. I knew this would be a dope live stream. And again, my apologies for pushing it back, but life been life, and then it was other live streams that I kind of wanted to put in front of this one before I actually got to this one, because this one in particular to me is a special live stream. This is for the people. This for our people. This live stream right here is for our people. I speak about, the things I speak about for a reason. We all are created differently. We are all created differently. And we all know right from wrong. I'm just saying. Yeah, this was a special live stream, y'all. I really couldn't, wait to do this particular live stream. I see you backstage, SBK. If you want to stay cammed up, that's cool. If you don't want to, you can turn your camera off. Oh, you good? Okay. I got you, brother. What's going on, brother?
What's going on, brother?
Man, I can't call it, man. Appreciate you hitting the panel, man. What's your thoughts, man? Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you hitting the panel. Shoot, share your thoughts, man.
Hey, man, I saw, I've been following you for a little bit whenever you started your live Reloaded. I followed your other channel as well, but I saw that you were going to speak on this subject, because you don't realize how many people look to the Killmonger character and they actually can relate to that character. Mm-hmm. I remember when that movie first came out, my daughter was so intrigued by that character that she was like 8 years old or something like that at the time, and had a dress up day, and she wanted to be him. Had the whole 9 yards dressed like him. So I think a lot of people can relate to him because he was just a different guy that looked at things to where he marched to the beat of his own drum.
Right.
So
right.
I'm glad you spoke on this, because our people in particular are so inclined to just follow the norm instead of just being leaders and being studying for themselves, look as far as politics is concerned. Everybody wants to be in groups and be in this, and instead of people just being themselves and following the beat of their own drum. So I'm glad that you came up with this. When you had this concept, and just even though it's a fictional character, but still, I mean, this character here is basically something that people can learn from, and I really do appreciate you bringing that out.
Oh man, bruh, I appreciate that, man. Again, you coming up, sharing your thoughts and your perspective, and I had to, speak about this particular character because he was a character. Like I said, I was intrigued on like how he went about his business. Like you said, he moved to the beat of his own drum. He didn't let nobody tell him who he was. And I was just sitting there the whole time watching the movie, like, well, how was he? Where does the villainous ways kick in yet? Kick in that. And I seen Team Truck, give me a breakdown as to how people could have viewed it. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I get it. Black Panther was thinking more worldwide when Killmonger was thinking for the people, even though our people are worldwide too, but he had a different purpose. And they both served their purposes, but to me, the Killmonger character pretty much more so, I resonated with that character more because of what he stood for and him representing all these Black historical figures that were actually real people.
Correct.
Like you said, even though he's a fictional character, he people can still learn from that.
Right.
That it's people like him now that's going through their everyday walks of life, that's portraying the same characteristics.
Right.
So again, me doing this live stream, I wanted to bring some sense of awareness to our people because we don't have much of that. I scour the streets of YouTube and look at all different types of content, but I don't see a lot of content where we can have discussions like me and you having right now. That's for building. Right. And actually having real conversations. I have the live streams I have scheduled because these are conversations that go on that we don't speak about because a lot of people hush us because of what could happen from those conversations. But those are the conversations you should be having.
Correct. I want to invite you to our show. I'm a content creator. I'm a content creator myself, but I also do. My partner and I, it's just ETV. We do a live stream every Sunday. We used to do it every Friday, but we do it every Sunday. We talk about things like this. We talk about politics. We talk about love. We talk about relationships. We talk about what's going on in the community. And you're right. There's not a lot of content creators out there that talk about real life subjects that really matter. Beefing and all that kind of stuff, that brings eyes to your channel sometimes, but the real issues are not talked about. And when you talk about things like this, when it comes to what goes on in our community, and especially when it comes to being an individual and being a leader, that's not popular, but it's real. It's, as you say, it's factuals. You know what I mean? What I'm saying? So
factuals.
There you go. So, but yeah, man, I appreciate you, bringing things like this awareness. It's people like yourself and myself that, you put out things like this that really matter, that really go on in our communities, because, you don't have very many content. Everybody's, it's a copycat type, mentality in social media. So, but when you bring realness to the table, that's what really matters. So, right. But Killmonger and Black Panther. The other day I was watching The Man of Steel. If you remember Zod, it's kind of similar. If you remember Zod and Kal-El, Superman. Zod was trying to do things for the betterment of Krypton. He was trying to bring Krypton, even though Krypton was destroyed, but he wanted to fulfill, he wanted Krypton to live. He wanted his people to carry on. One of the statements that Zod said was, he's like, whatever I do, whether it's, it may be cruel, it may be violent, but I'm doing it for the betterment of my people, for the greater people. So that story on Superman, well, The Man of Steel and Killmonger is very similar. You know what I mean? What we do in life, especially if you're a man, if you have a family and so forth, you should be doing things for the betterment of your people, for the betterment of who matters to you most, which should be your people and your family. Right. And by any means necessary, you should be doing that. And I think that, this subject that we're talking about right here, man, it's just very powerful. And like you said, you brought that. I'm glad you read verbatim what Killmonger said. that I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I was in tears, man, when I first saw that.
Man, it sent chills. Man, it give you chills.
Yeah,
It give you chills, man. To
yeah,
know that that was that man' last words,
yeah.
man.
He said, "I
Like
want
it
to."
give you chills, man.
Yeah, he's like, "We could take you, get you to the healing room." He's like, "No, man, I'm not trying to hear all that." You know what I mean?
Mm,
So that's that's a very powerful, and YouTube has a lot of clips, and I watched that clip, that very last clip like that. I'm
yeah,
like, that is very, very powerful, man.
powerful, man.
So, like I
It's
said,
powerful.
death before dishonor. Just think if we had all of our people had that same mentality, you know what I'm saying?
Man,
How much we could get accomplished.
so
You know,
much, so much,
you know.
so much, man. Like you said, death before dishonor.
Yep.
So much, man. So much can be accomplished. And like you said, like the beefing and the riffs going back and forth. It's entertaining, of course, because you hear people out of Jones and stuff. It's comical, it's entertainment, but it's not a lot of conversations actually happening.
Yeah.
That be the gray area when you get to that kind of content, because you got a bunch of people talking at each other, but not
Right.
talking to each other.
Right. Exactly. And I look at stuff like that, and it motivates me to be different as a content creator. Now, of course, I got a life outside of YouTube. We all have lives outside of YouTube, but
Right.
when you see content that everybody gravitates to, it motivates. Hey, how can I make content that's different and makes people think?
Mhm.
I'm looking. And shout out to you and Selena. I was looking at you and Selena's live Sunday, and you guys kind of spoke on that, hit on that about being different. Giving content that makes a person think, giving content that really matters. You know what I'm saying? And so, guys like me, man, I love listening to real conversations. You guys have, the first interview that you guys. I was looking at that as well, and that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about,
Yeah, man. Bro, like I was saying again, appreciate you for supporting and watching and sharing your opinions. I'm pretty sure you heard me say it in that same very interview. Like, I like the engagement when people share their thoughts and give their opinions, if it's something they either agree with or disagree with, because to me, that is the content. When people have a difference of opinion, they're able to convey whatever it is they're thinking into a conversational portion, and it be the just that content. So to be different, to share your thoughts, that I'm a big person that's all about individualism. One thing about me, I think individualism is something very important that a lot of people should practice. That you are, and the only way to execute individualism, to me, was what I was saying earlier, is to establish some type of foundation, some type of structure for yourself, knowing who you are first, so somebody can't shake that if you're already solid with self, because it starts with you first. So, being different and walking in that right and having your own mind, God gave us free will. And that's what I believe you should do with that. You should do just that,
The thing about it is that you hit on something. We all can have perspectives. We all can have different perspectives, but you can disagree respectfully. You know what I mean? And I think that's one of the things that people don't understand, is that you can have dialogue. There's nothing wrong with disagreeing, but disagreeing in respect. And on my platform, I've not quite a year yet, but we have people. We like last night we hit the link. We can disagree, but it's all healthy disagreement. You know what I'm saying? You can all. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's all good.
You can still have a dialogue and still talk and still learn. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, that's exactly what it's about. We're not going to always agree on the same thing. We're going to disagree on things. Everybody has their own different mind and how they look at things. I always, go back to the, my favorite line that I always say in live streams, where three people can be seeing the same thing at the same time. And if you ask them, "Oh, what happened?" you're going to get three perspectives.
Right.
And that's something that I always, be mindful of when I'm speaking to, different peoples from different walks of life, that everybody looks at life differently.
Right.
The difference is trying to gain that understanding. Some people you won't gain that understanding. So respectfully, you always you can come to agree to disagree.
Correct.
And
Correct.
yeah, man, that's just how my stance is. I know people are going to have their opinions. Being a content creator, you got to be able to, have, thick skin and be prepared for that, because, it comes with the territory,
Right.
so.
Does you and being a content creator, being a true content creator, when you have true and real content, it's not easy, and sometimes it's not. If you're bringing out what's going on in the community, or if you're bringing out real, things that are actually happening,
Mhm.
it's not going to be popular. You know what I mean?
Right.
But as long as you're putting it out there and people are, people, it's going to gain some traction. You know what I mean?
Right.
You don't have to have patience with it, but it'll gain some traction. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Conversations like this, and just bringing a different perspective of things, making a person think. Because I'm a thinker. You know what I mean? I'm a
Yeah,
thinker.
man. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I overthink.
I overthink, I overanalyze sometimes, but sometimes I got to draw myself that pull the
Yep,
rein.
yep.
You know what I'm saying? But as long as as long as you know who you are, I like what you said. As long as you know who you are as a man, as a person, as a lady, then you're gonna stand firm. You know what I mean? You're gonna be fine. So, but yeah, man, I really appreciate this. You bringing this out. I shared you guys live yesterday, and like I said, I appreciate you, man, bringing out some things like this to make people think. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate the support, bro. And don't forget to place your link in the chat, or you can put it in the back chat. But you can put it in the chat, so I can sub up to your channel and see you guys' content. And
hey,
I'll
man,
definitely
I would love to. I love to bring you on the platform, man.
Yeah.
Whether it's with me or on our show, Tap In. Like I said, we used to be on every Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. But now we're on Sunday. We're on every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Love to have you on, man. Love to have you on.
Man, I'll definitely, I'll come on. I'll definitely, pop out, so
sir.
definitely let me know the logistics, and I'm
Yes,
there,
sir.
man. I'm always up for a good conversation, so
we'll make it work
definitely.
out, man. I guarantee you're gonna have fun, man. Our chats, it's just ETV and SBK. We're always having fun, man. We're kicking back, got talking about grown folks conversations, and yeah, man. I really appreciate you. I really appreciate your platform, man.
Man, I appreciate the support, man, and thank you. Like I said, I appreciate you, sharing your thoughts and showing the support that you've been showing, man. It goes a long way, and it's just going to keep growing, and people, showing, telling their perspectives, which is going to keep the engagement going, because everybody has different opinions. I'm sorry, Urban, I see you backstage, brother. Can you hear me good? Okay, then. Urban, appreciate you pulling up to the platform, brother. What's on your mind?
Salute. Welcome, gentlemen. OSD, I appreciate you inviting me up. SBK, salute, welcome, brother.
Salute to you, Urban. Salute to you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I've been watching in the bushes about the topic. I want to come up and just give my perspective about it.
Okay.
I saw you on Selena channel, by the way. Selena, she can vouch for me because I pulled up on that panel a couple of times before. So
okay. Appreciate you pulling up. Like I told SBK, and like I'm telling you, Urban, man, appreciate you brothers pulling up to the panel and sharing your thoughts, because you don't have a lot of platforms like this that that's for our people, and to see black men having a conversation. You don't really see a lot of that, and especially a conversation that can push the needle forward, and sharing your thoughts, and people having different perspectives that can help somebody gain understanding from another perspective. So again, appreciate you pulling up. Is there something you wanted to add?
Yeah, absolutely. My perspective on the Killmonger character is this: is that it revealed the truth about us as African American people, and it also revealed the truth about us as Black people. Period, regardless of what continent that we reside in, whether it's North America, South America, and in particular, the movie was geared towards America and Africa. There's a saying that the red pill and the Black manosphere community says about African people. They call them tethers. Okay, so the reason why they call them that is because they have a certain disdain against African American people. Y'all probably heard it before, where they say that African American people are lazy. They can't hold a family together, but yet still they come over to this country and come over, they get job opportunities, career opportunities, different things like that. Then they go back home to Africa and transmit that back towards their community over in Africa. Now the reason why I was bringing this up is because that's the whole point about Killmonger's character. Even though Killmonger was originally from Africa, right? When he was born over there to America, he's seen the whole culture of African American people. He's seen that African American people were suffering. He's seen that it was a lot of things that they was dealing with, their personal struggles. So his character wanted to utilize his heritage, right, to help the people. But T'Challa didn't want to do that. T'Challa was only for the African people over there, and that's how the way it is right now. And it shows the separation between us. Now, the thing about it is that I'm all for y'all brothers, where I say that we all need to come together and we can do a lot together, regardless if we're African Americans or Africans or whatever the case may be. But the thing about it is that I've been noticing that we have this crab in the barrel mentality where we don't want to help each other out. Me as a content creator, I witness this every single day, where I don't mind giving out resources to help people. Like I help people to help build a channel up. I give them the whole process, how the way I build my channel up, and give them all this free information without charging or anything like that. But in return, there's no return value in it whatsoever, other than trying to come back, as y'all saying earlier, trying to create beef and unnecessary drama that's not even productive. Now, OSD, I do agree with you on this point that the beef and content, and it could be entertaining. We can all agree to that. It could be entertaining, but is it proactive for us? Is it beneficial to us? No, it's not. Nope. You know what I'm saying? Now, I see it as a short-term value versus the value that me, you, SBK want to give to our people, where we could literally leverage YouTube, where we could be beneficial for everybody. But once again, that deals with that crab in the barrel mentality, where we don't want to help each other, or we think that we're better than one another, and that's what creates beef as well too. So what do y'all think, gentlemen?
Yeah, SBK, you can speak to that.
Hey, I couldn't have said it better myself. It's one of those things where, like you said, it's a copycat mentality on social media, where this person is beefing with that person, and then it just spawns off from that, and it's very entertaining. It catches the eye when you hear a lot of cussing and a lot of carrying on. But what we're doing as Black men right now, talking things out, talk about real subjects right now, it might not be popular, but it's very, very necessary. So I totally agree with what you're saying, brother. We just, conversations like this just need to be had, and hopefully, people can hear us and hear you, Urban, you also dope, and just, be inspired, just to be different. You know what I mean? So I totally agree with what you were just saying.
Yeah, man. And, pretty much what both of you brothers are saying is the truth. That's what's going on right now. It's not going to be popular because it's not what, of course, the community trying to hear. They're trying to hear the next, how this latest drama or what's going on between so-and-so and all the extra stuff that's not even conducive to their lifestyle. And when you have, like you were saying, Urban, about the crab in the barrel mentality and how we always say we happy to see each other at a certain rung on the ladder of success.
Facts.
But once we get there, or once the person gets there that we're so happy for, we're the first ones quick to try to tug on them and bring them back down because we're thinking that they forgot where they came from because they made it up there when that wasn't the case at all. So I see with the beef and all that, it is entertaining. Like you said, it's short value, but it's also a detriment as well. It is not something that's long. It's not, like you said, it's short term. You get your cheap thrills, but conversations like this go a long way, and more people need to hear it and listen and actually think. Like I've said in past live streams, this right here, this conversation, past live streams, other content creators that speak about this, it should always be something that invokes conversation. It should always be something that helps somebody through their day or help somebody gain understanding. Because when I listen to certain content creators and hear how they go about their content, some of them just don't have an understanding.
Facts.
They just don't understand what they're doing and what their purpose is. So the best thing they think is to bring that kind of confusion to the internet and spew that energy out. And it only resonates with other people that don't have a grasp on the same concept of life too.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me add on something to that. I just thought about this too, because the whole topic is also talking about Killmonger, right? Y'all do understand that Killmonger and T'Challa was beefing as well too, right?
Right.
Y'all do understand that.
Right.
They was beefing. But think about it is that even when they did all that beefing and going back and forth, and he came and temporarily took over the kingdom, then T'Challa took it back, and Killmonger ended up dying at the end of the movie. Guess what? It was all that was for nothing, because at the end of the day, Killmonger wanted to be for his people, right? But it really didn't value nothing. But however, I do want to bring this up too, to bring this point. At the very, very end of the movie, guess what? After his death, it brought awareness. Guess what happened? T'Challa and his sister, right? They went back to America and they ended up starting an outreach program. Through all of that. So maybe, just maybe, gentlemen, through all of this that we're going through, we have some who's created positive content. We have some that's created beefy content. Maybe somewhere along that gray line where it's actually being beneficial. What do y'all think about that concept?
That is an excellent concept. I thought about that. I'm glad you brought that up, because towards the end of the movie, he basically went back to the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I hopefully out of all of the beefing and all of the, just one person can spark, and people can bring some positivity to the whole, this whole YouTube thing, as content creators.
Absolutely.
That's I'm glad you brought that out. That's awesome.
Absolutely. And now that I think about it, right, I believe that all of us, we're capable of being great content creators. And I believe that a lot of people, they're trying to find as YouTube called, their niche, right? And so the quickest way for you to do that is just to strike up a live and just start talking about crazy stuff, or you try to attach yourself to something that's trending or popular. Like some people, they see that, y'all part of the Kwame Brown sector, right? Or familiar with it, right? So they'll attach certain things, like things happen with Kwame Brown. Now you know what? I'm gonna say something against Kwame Brown too, since everybody else said something about him, and they'll attach themselves to that to get them started. But what end up happening is that the people who follows Kwame Brown, they end up seeing that live that the other person's doing right, and they end up going over there, and that's how the mess end up started. And that's thing you know, it be cycling over and over again, and they can't figure out how to get out of it because they started it. You know.
That's exactly how it happens.
So I believe that maybe if we could educate people on being content creators on YouTube, find out what they're really passionate about, it does help them get it started from there, you know, and support them from there. Maybe that would kind of deviate a lot of the unnecessary, you know, beefing channels that keep sprouting up like weeds. Well, not weeks, but, you know, weeds. So.
No, man, I agree. I agree, man. I actually, not this particular channel, but another channel that I have, I'm putting out information as far. And again, when I do the videos, it's from experience too. You know, I put these videos out because somebody is YouTube. It's such a big platform that some of the same content creators go through the same thing. So I did the content creator video about like being a content creator, the moderators in the chat, how you know the etiquette is, and you know what to look for, and you know how to structure, you know, being a content creator, because everybody has different roles, but pretty much the same things that all content creators go through the same thing. So yeah, I agree. I'm all for content creating and showing people the same thing, because I'm growing as well. And I feel like a part of my growth and my experiences, I should be able to share with the next person, because, you know, it's just going to be the gift that keeps giving.
Absolutely.
How I started as a content creator was basically about a year or so ago. A gentleman he had a platform. He was talking about some stuff, some things that were going on in the community.
Right.
I jumped up on the panel, you know what I mean? And I just started talking, and I was just admonished, hey, you need to start you a channel. You know what I mean? You got something to say. I didn't really want to do it, but I was just encouraged to do it. And so, ever since then, I just started the channel. And so, but as you said, yeah, both of you guys said, conversations like this spark people. They want to be involved and talk about things, and iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? And so we're all influenced. I like what you just said, oh so dope, about everybody has a story to tell. Like you said, some stories, some people are open books and some people are not, but we all have stories to tell. We all have something to bring to the table. We all have some, you guys can reach people that I can't reach, vice versa. You know what I mean? That's how it all starts.
See, one of my weaknesses is that I tend to be introverted on YouTube, meaning that I'm not a shy person, but when I say introvert, I mean that I tend to want to work on my own all the time. You know what I'm saying? But the only reason why is because through past experiences of me even attempting to try to network with people, right, it normally don't end well at all. Just like I stated earlier, it's end up being a crab in a barrel mentality where it'd be me who's elevated and not the other person, or it'd be the other person elevated, and they want me to do even more to keep them elevated, but they don't want to contribute to what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So it caused a lot of problems, a whole lot of problems. But I started learning that if I just start open myself up more, and also treat my platform as a business, running it as a business. Make sure I have people who are staff, which is, as you said earlier, OSD, about the moderators. Make sure I have good quality moderators, not these moderators that was, trolls that became the moderator because they paid you or cash up you, whatever. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? So
Yep.
make sure you have good quality moderators or have good quality people that's on your team and start building it up from there and start networking with people with the same goals and vision. Maybe it'd be better, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know. but then, like I say, I got so much knowledge that I be wanting to bring to people, right? But just throughout my experiences and stuff, right? It normally don't end up well at all. It don't end up good at all,
You learn, you live and you learn.
That's
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I just say this one last point. I'm still learning as well too. I'm learning how to navigate. I'm learning how to have emotional intelligence. I'm learning how to discern people as well too. Just see where they at.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I think we all go through those growing pains when you start a page. You learn. I just sit back and watch. I sit back and listen. You learn a lot by just sitting back and watching it, and having the right moderators, of course, having the right people around you, having the right team around you. A lot of people don't. I think you brought it out. Oh, so dope. A lot of people don't want you to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
You get to a certain level. It's going to be a lot of this.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to work through all that. You know what I mean? Sometimes the best, my favorite quote I always say, when you have a lot of nonsense on social media, when people are going back and forth or people are shooting shots at you, sometimes the best response is no response at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Big facts.
And that is just something that it's easier said than done, but trust me, you know what I mean? If you have a goal in mind and you have what it's inside of you that makes you get up in the morning and makes you want to create content, then nothing's going to stop you. You know what I mean? So you just have to, you live and you learn, and it's growing pain sometimes, but if you're passionate about whatever you're passionate about, it's going to shine through.
Yep, I agree. Man, that was it. That was it right there. That was the nail on the head, man. Standing behind your content, believing in your content 100%, because it starts with you first. If you don't believe the content, how can anybody in the audience, feel or believe the content as well? Whatever it is that you're presenting to your audience, you should always stand behind that 100%. And that's one thing. That's the first thing, that I had to learn, for content creating, is to believe in your content first. I've said in so many live streams that it's not easy to be able to sit up here and do this and talk to a camera. But you've done it enough times, it becomes second nature, especially if this is something like you said, SBK, that you want to do, and you're going to commit. You're going to take the necessary steps, find, your comfortable, your comfortability on the camera. You're gonna go out your way to do the research. You're gonna go out your way to work on your presentation and the structure of your live stream. All things going into content creating. So, like you said, if you're gonna commit to it and do it, then do it. And when you do it, you should already have, to me, like I was telling Selena on her panel, when we was talking, that you should have some type of foundation for yourself already, because that way, coming to a place like the internet where it's just, filled with different people and personalities from the four corners of the world, nothing can chink your armor because you knew who you were in the first place.
Absolutely.
And the content that you're doing, you standing behind it because that's you.
Mm-hmm. Hey, let me ask y'all gentlemen this question, all right? So I go through the whole process of preparing myself for my my shows. I make sure I have my talking points together. I have to go through my thumbnails, go through the research, get everything together and stuff, right? And so when it comes time for me to go live, every single time when it comes for me to go live, guess what happened to me? I be nervous as hell. So I want to ask y'all, do y'all be do y'all be feeling the same exact way? Even though you be well prepared for your streams, when it comes time for you to hit that button, you be like, "Oh my god!"
I do my homework. Like you said, I do my homework whenever my partner and I is just even we go live. We're always talking behind the scenes, sending each other stuff. Hey, what do you think about this? Bringing this to the platform. And then I get so either I get nervous or I get too excited about what I'm about to talk about because I'm well prepared, but then I get nervous or I forget to bring some things up that I say that I'm going to talk about.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Even when you had to outline the stuff too, talking points.
I'm like, man, I leave out a whole lot of stuff. So yes, I mean, I go through all that each time I press live, man. But I tell people this all the time. Whenever I was in high school, I was all in public speaking and all that type of stuff. I'm very comfortable behind the camera, but I don't care how many times you do it. You're gonna have those jitterbugs, and you're gonna have those. You're gonna have those things. You're gonna go through all those things. You know what I mean? So,
I had took it this way that when I feel that way, what it's doing is humbling me. You know what I'm saying? So what I feel when I know I'm being humble, I know that I'm gonna do my best work. So
Yeah. Yo, that's a great way to look at it, man.
absolutely.
That's a great way to look at that. Again, that was some insight for me right there. I definitely, you get that nervous factor every time, you about to press live. You're like, all right, because that's why I be saying in live streams too. I'm like, it's a live broadcast. Anything can happen live.
absolutely.
So that's what gives me the nervous factor before I press live, because I'm like, all right, I'm about to go live. I'm not saying something like an alien will drop down or something like that, but you just never know with live streams. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Damn, that's a great way to look at it. That actually makes you much more, more cool, going to a live stream, even though you're going to be nervous, but having that in mind too, that gives you something to think about right there.
That's a great point. Especially also, when you have people tuned in to you and they're actually engaging with you in the chat. That's when, that's also a humbling factor that people they're so engaged with you in the chat, and they are in tune with you, and they can relate to whatever you're talking about. That's also a humbling experience too, because I'm like, man, y'all listen to me. You know what I mean? Y'all are really engaging with me. I'm nobody. I'm just talking to you about things that's what's on my heart and what I believe in. So you're talking to people of kindred spirits, and you have a that's that's also humbling. So
yeah. Hey, let me add on to that. My subscribers and my moderators get on me about that, about engagement, by engaging them in the chat. The reason why it ain't because I'm afraid of them, which I'm not. It is that once when I start, I'll be cooking for real, like really cooking. Man, I'll be putting some stuff together and I'll just be zoned out.
Yeah.
And so they be like, Urban, read my comment. And I'll be like, didn't necessarily know the show is over. Like, oh, my bad. I didn't read y'all comment. But I end up going back after the show and reading their comments. So their comments were what influenced me to do another show talking about whatever it is that they talked about. But I also do this for my subscribers and stuff too, is that I will purposely dedicate a show just so they can have a Q&A session with me. At that show, they can either hit the link or they can ask questions in the chat the whole time about topics that I have previously covered.
Man, bruh. Hey, man. Hey, great minds think alike, man. Great minds think alike. So I do scenes. I do this session called scenes. Right now, I think I'm on scene 6, but I'm on the 5th one right now. That's the latest one. And when I do my scenes by OSD Live Reloaded, scenes is basically for the audience. You somebody that's been watching the channel, or if you passing by, the content that I previously did, if you agree or disagree, the purpose of the scenes is for a conversation to be had. Because again, everybody look at things differently, and I want to know, for the person that's watching my content, to share their thoughts. And I always offer that opportunity. And for you saying that lets me know that, okay, I'm not the only person that and like you said, it's like humility. It's in a way, and let you know that, just not some content creator coming up here and whatever you say is law, and then you log off, and then next time you return, you're not engaging. You're just going to say what you're going to say, then you're gone again. No, I really be wanting to know for the artists, because like you were saying, SBK, iron sharpens iron. And the best way to stay on your toes is to listen to the people, because they're the ones that's viewing the content. Who else better to listen to? So I agree. I do the same thing. I offer the same opportunity, on my channel.
We dropped the link last night. Had Selena come on towards the end. We always drop the link. The last few weeks we've been dropping the link towards the end of the show, and it is very, very. It's very powerful whenever you have someone who's been listening the entire time, and they might bring a entirely different perspective, and they actually pop on the link and they talk about it, and it sparks another show. Like you said, Urban, it sparks another show. You know what I mean? And we pay close attention to the comments, and I always do my own playbacks. You know what I mean? I look at stuff, maybe
me
that
too.
I said wrong. I critique myself very bad. You know what I mean? I shouldn't have said this. I should have said it this way. Look at this statement that she made. Let's make a show on that. You know what I mean? And like you said, we Urban, we give shout outs. Hey, this person said this, and so we want to expound on that. And so you guys are giving me a lot of ideas. So,
hey, we cooking tonight, man.
We
cooking one big old pot of gumbo tonight.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is what it's about. Building, man. Building, networking. Again, that's why I made sure the first thing I told both of you brothers, appreciate you pulling up to the platform, and giving your insight, because it leads to things like this. And so many ideas, especially, when it comes to content creation, and this being one of them, being able to, it starts with the idea first, and then next is to execute. So like I said, this is definitely healthy right here. I'm getting ideas too as well. And, as a content creator, your gears should never stop turning. I'm sorry. They should never stop. And yeah, I agree, SBK. This is definitely healthy right here.
Absolutely.
Yep. On my channel, right, I talk about a lot of controversial stuff, for real, like some serious controversial stuff, like like either dealing with politics with the election, or I talk about abortion issue, all kind of weird stuff what people don't want to talk about, but I talk about it on my channel. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because this lets me know about even my moderators. See, I don't want yes man moderators. I want moderators who's going to disagree with me too, who's going to call me out on my own bullcrap, because I know I be saying some crazy stuff, you know what I'm saying? But they'll call me out on it. Literally, they say, "Hey, Herbie, hey, you're I don't agree with that at all," you know what I'm saying? But I'm breaking this up because, once again, this is what y'all stated earlier about it's not a dictatorship, you know what I'm saying? It's not a yes man, nothing like that. I'm allow everyone to have their own freedom of perspectives, you know what I'm saying? Even if you disagree with me, it's fine. I'm not going to spark up a lie and do a beefing lie because you didn't agree with it. No, we're going to sit there and we're going to talk about it. Some of my moderators, they literally came on the panel like, "Nah, I got to talk to you, Herbert, about this one." All right, come on, let's talk about it.
Right.
Let's talk about it. And we have a good conversation about it. It don't be no cussing or nothing like that. We be going back and forth about it. Sometimes it get kind of heated. Sometimes it won't,
Yeah.
If you notice, you guys, if I'm doing a live on my own, or if I'm doing a live with It's Just Eve, when we double stream on Sundays, a lot of the women are very well spoken, and outspoken, well-spoken and outspoken.
Mm-hmm.
So the men are kind of like standoffish, but the women are going to let you know what if you they're going to call you out on your bull crap, and they're going to hop the panel faster than a man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things where I love the engagement. I love to be, I love to be called upon. And hey, you said this about this, but what do you think about this? Well, that keeps you on your toes. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes that's what makes you stronger as a content. You know what I'm saying? Because if you shy away from what I call a healthy debate, then you're not going to grow from it. You know what I mean? Nobody wants a yes man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Urban, nobody wants a yes man. We can all disagree or agree as long as we're respectful. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I love it. I love the healthy dialogue. You know what I mean?
Hey, SBK, I done won many debates and I done lost many debates as well too. But once again, it's a humbling experience because it makes me grow. It also, I can understand people different perspectives. You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't agree with it.
Right, exactly. I tried to get an understanding of why a person thinks. Before you came on, Urban, I don't know if you heard. I told me and Also Dope were saying, I'm a thinker. You know what I mean? Sometimes I overthink. You know what I mean? And I overanalyze things, but I try to understand why a person thinks the way they think, why they say things, but it's all in good fun and it's all healthy.
Yeah, facts. Hey, SBK, you from Texas?
Yes, sir.
Now, wonder you cool with Selena with her Oak Cliff self.
She's a city slicker. I'm the country boy from Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm from the country. So
yeah, me too. I live in a rural area in Texas too.
Yeah.
I mean, I live over there in the Red Oak area, Waxahachie, and all this stuff.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're right. You're not too close. I'm from East Texas, so not too far away.
Oh, you from the East Side? Oh man,
it's at the East Side.
hey, man, hey, them Texas up in the East, man. Shoot, I don't got nothing else better to do but to burn wood. Yeah.
we straight up country up here.
Hey, ride on them AT, well, now doing what 4-wheelers, yeah, ride on the 4-wheelers and stuff. Matter of fact, I also do part-time DJing and stuff, right? And so I went up to where I went to Tyler. I drove up to Tyler. I had the show to do at Tyler. So
yeah, I'm from Longview. So
Longview, yeah. At least Longview's a little bit more city-ish.
It's a little bit city. we ain't like Oak Cliff and Dallas and all that.
Yeah. But shout out to my fellow Texas, man.
Oh yeah, shout out to Texas, man. Texas is a big place, man. Texas is it's a lot of land for real,
very
man.
Very spread out.
Yeah.
Hey, OCD, you from Texas?
No, I'm actually from Virginia.
I keep saying OCD, OSD. My bad, man. I'm tripping,
bro.
OCD.
I'm tripping, bro. Hey, say if this would be in my live show, my moderators would be in the comment on that quick. Urban,
hey,
stop saying his name wrong.
You said it so fast, I didn't even recognize that you said OCD.
Yeah, I didn't notice it until he corrected himself.
Yeah, I heard myself. Like, hold on, what?
Yeah, but I'm actually from Virginia.
Oh, Virginia.
Yeah. And that's another reason why I speak on the topics that I speak about, because this one being one of the first colonized states, our history is comprised of that, so I just wanted to kind of shed light on that too, because that's one of the reasons why I speak on the topics I speak about and try to bring some awareness to the community as well, and do lives like this, because live streams like this go a long way, like we were saying. And this the reason why, being where I'm from, it fuels that as well, and the content that I talk about. So, yeah.
I did watch the last show that you and Selena did too, which that was a phenomenal live, by the way.
I
Phenomenal
appreciate
live.
that.
All the way up
Thank
to the point when Damn D came on there in the chat trolling. But it was overall it was phenomenal. It was a phenomenal stream for real, you know. And like a lot of times, Selena, I'm either watching in the bushes or I catch the replay. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a very very busy man, and so. Some content creators they feel that if I'm not literally engaging in a live stream, they think I'm not watching their content. But that's not true at all. If I don't catch the live stream, I'll definitely catch the replay. Like with y'all gentlemen and stuff. I'll definitely either be watching it either in the bushes while I'm working, or I catch the replay on it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, yeah. And she came up on our platform last night, and I had our moderators put in you guys OSOD, and I put
everybody said.
I might gotta put the name strolling across the screen, you know.
He gonna have to put
Look,
acronyms.
You done influenced him, Urban. Look, you done influenced him.
He done rubbed off on me. But I had our moderators put "Oh So Dope" the last live, you guys, and I was congratulating Selena because you guys were cooking, you know what I mean, and "Oh So Dope," you got a voice, brother, you know what I mean, and just know that you're not alone, and Urban, you guys are not alone. There's some content creators out here that are actually talking about some real stuff that's happening on, and giving some thought-provoking content. That's what it's all about, and so I really appreciate you guys, man.
Oh man, thank you. I want to say I appreciate you guys' support, and it like I said, it goes a long way. It's what fuels me again. Another thing that fuels me to keep wanting to get before you all in the audience and on this camera, and share my thoughts on the particular topics I think about and want to speak about, and just to speak to one of the talking points that Urban was saying about like content creating or content creators. They think a person don't support them because they might not see them active in a chat or doing a lot of typing. And I'm the same way. I'm a person that just want to hear what the content creator has to say. Of course I'm looking at the chat and stuff, but I also want to see like the subject matter or where because when we're listening to these people, this is from their minds. This is what they're saying in real time. What they're delivering is what is going on at the time, and I'm already intrigued by that, just hearing the mind of the content creator. So I might not do a lot of typing. If I do, it's real seldom, but for the most part, I'm there to listen to what the material that the content creator is presenting. So I don't think I haven't had a content creator feel some kind of way, but I know it is something that content creators look at as support. Oh, you wasn't typing in my chat, and some people aren't like that. Some people just like to enjoy the content from a distance and have their opinions about it. It's a show. You don't have to give live audio studio participation. You can just view it, have your thoughts about it, and move forward. And that's still supported. It counts as a view. The engagement, hitting the like button, those are still ways of supporting. You don't have to be active, so everybody can see that you're in that chat at that very moment. I just enjoy the content. So I agree with you, Urban, on that. Sometimes I don't type in a lot of chats, but I am listening and watching.
The same here. I ghost watch a lot, and but I do support and I do enjoy the content. I'm same way, I'm a very busy man as well, so I can't engage like I would like to, but but I'm always enjoying the content. I always like the healthy dialogue that folks have. I like hearing different perspectives. So you learn a lot by just listening, not just typing, but listening.
Yeah.
Do y'all gentlemen ever feel disencouraged where you only have a minimum of people that's watching you live?
I do whenever I do the vertical thing, but it's because I'll do the vertical live every so often, especially if I'm traveling. And YouTube is kind of crazy because, man, it's like all of a sudden, it's not, you're the only person you're talking to yourself, and then all of a sudden there's 5 people, there's 6 people, there's 7 people. So, so it's like I'm like, man, I'm not talking to myself. But then once you start cooking and once you start going, you engaging with those 5 people turn into 10, and then you just it's a I have to continuously say I have to be patient. But I do get kind of discouraged sometimes whenever I do see that.
Yeah, to see, the number of people like right now, you know what I'm saying? It's a few people watching and stuff, but I can see how it can be discouraging, but like you were speaking about, turning, Urban, when you were speaking about just basically how I interpret it, turning negatives into positives, being nervous before you go live, but that still gives you a sense of humility, like, okay, it's humbling me, letting me know that, I could still, I got to give the best show I can give because your potential. So I look at it the same way too. It's more of a intimate chat. The people that's listening, they're watching and listening, and the numbers will come, the interactions will come because it's YouTube, and the way YouTube is working, I'm pretty sure you guys have noticed where you go to your home screen, it might recommend a video you've never seen before, but it just so happened to end up on your page, and if it appeals to you, you click on it. If not, swipe up. It's an impression. So you can look at the number and be like, but like you were saying, SBK, if you're patient, and your numbers is going to always show, because people like what they like. When we spoke about different topics, some topics is going to appeal more than others. But for the most part, the most important thing for me now is just making sure that I put out the content that I want to do. It's easily to do some content to run it up, like you were saying, Urban, but it's only so long that's going to hold up, So, staying true to your content, the numbers will show. But I could definitely see how it could be discouraging because, you're seeing you like, oh, man. But at the same time, it's all going to pay off because you're doing the content. But not, only the audience that supports you, but for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with both of y'all gentlemen perspective on this. Starting off my YouTube career early, I'm not gonna lie, I had some type of insecurity about that for real, because I wanted that engagement. I wanted that live interaction. There'd be times where I was doing shows where it was zero throughout the whole entire time. And it made me feel some type of way because right after that, I'd go and look at other content creators, and all you see is a panel of 10 people arguing with each other, and it'd be almost 1,000 other people that are watching them argue, and it don't benefit nothing other than entertainment. So it made me feel some type of way. It made me feel insecure in the beginning, where I like, damn, am I doing enough? Am I entertaining enough? But as you said, right, it humbles you, right? And so what it did, it made me reevaluate myself. It made me reevaluate myself to what can I do to make myself more entertaining, because at the end of the day, that's what YouTube is. It's entertainment. So I had to figure something out to market myself or to sell myself towards the people. So I start changing stuff around. I start investing into more stuff to make myself a little better, everything possible to give myself some type of leverage. Then the biggest thing that I did was this. I changed my mindset altogether, where I dealt with that insecurity to the point where the people who's going to be there, them are my core audience who going to listen to me regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I cater to them, and I put out the best content for them. You know what I'm saying? So ever since I changed all that around, changed my mindset around, I invested into a lot of things that'll benefit me. The rest is history. It's going pretty well,
You gotta love the journey. You gotta love the journey, man.
And this is like years of build up. It didn't happen overnight at all. I literally, SBK, before you say that, I literally took public speaking twice, right? then I took it one more time and stuff, right? Because I wanted to make sure that even how the way I was talking, it could be as articulate as possible for my audience. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, you're doing everything you can to get that edge, and there's nothing wrong with that. Another thing, one of my best friends is in the chat. I told her to come into the chat. Joe Delaney, also dope. She's also a brand new content creator, doing very well. She called me one time. Was like, hey, I was doing a live and I was on for several minutes and nobody was in the chat. And I was like, that's growing pains. That's just part of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just have to find your niche, as you were saying. Also dope. You have to find what works best for you, because I've done that before. But you have to, maybe you have to tweak a little things. Maybe you have to make an announcement. Put it on your community wall that you're about to, do whatever's necessary to help you on that. But it's just, it's you live and you learn. What's going to work for you may not work for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? There's no blueprint on how to be a content creator, but because everybody's different, everybody's personality is different. So it's just you just have to find your niche and you have to go with it.
Yeah, I agree. That's basically what it is. You got to go through the trials and tribulations, so you can appreciate it once you've reached, your goals. You should always strive to want more, but once you reach particular goals, of course, it makes you appreciate it more than, something overnight. You actually had to grind, you had to hustle, like you were saying, Urban, you had to switch things up. You had to think about what you can do differently. And like you saying, SBK, you just got to be resilient. You got to keep pushing out content. You got to just basically, if this is something you want to do, you got to commit to it. It's not going to happen overnight. You just got to commit to it. It's YouTube. It's a big platform, and it's a whole bunch of other content creators trying to be discovered too. So you got to be able to separate yourself from them all, and it's definitely a journey. It's a journey. It's a lot of content creators, and it's definitely a big journey to be on, and it's not for everybody. You got to commit to it.
Hey, give me one moment, gentlemen.
Oh, you good? Yeah, you got to commit to it, and once you've figured out, once you told yourself you're going to commit to it, then you just got to create. Don't limit yourself.
Right. Like I said, you just can't limit yourself. Like you're right. You can't just limit yourself to just certain topics. Just like Urban was saying earlier about the crab in the barrel mentality. I know a lot of people, man, that just they weren't true to what they know, and then they veer off to what everybody else is doing, and it's just not them. And so you got to just be true to yourself. What works for you.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. So before we close out this live stream, I want to get what's something from each of you brothers before we get out of here. What's one thing you want to tell somebody in the audience or somebody that might come across this video that they would need to know, or from your experience about content creation? What's something that you would like them to know?
Go ahead, Urban. Go ahead. You want me to go?
Oh, I'm about to get ready to let you cook first, but I can go first. One thing that I want to encourage fellow content creators, especially if you just starting off, choose wisely on the path that you want to take for us, like networking. Make sure you vet out the other content creators very, very well. All right, because if you don't, you're going to end up aligning yourself with their problems, or you're going to end up inheriting their beefs. Okay, so make sure you pay attention very carefully who you align yourself up with.
Yeah, actuals.
I think one of the things that what I was going to say was, as encouragement, we're back to the Killmonger thing. he basically did what he thought was best. He was a leader. He was a true leader, not because of he didn't let any outside people or whatever influence him on what he needed to do. So as a content creator, you have to be an individual. If it takes, standing alone, stand alone. But you have to be resilient. You have to have thick skin. You have to dig down deep and have something to say. If you have something to say, then something to say that's meaningful, then you're going to be all right. But content creation is not meant for everybody, but if you have what it takes and you have what's in here and you have something to say, then you're going to be all right. It's just going to have to take some thick skin. And as Urban said, when you're networking, you got to be careful who you're networking with, because a lot of people are not out for the greater good. A lot of people are not going to be, they're going to be saying that they're there for you, but if you're growing and you get a little bit of traction, there's going to be some hate involved. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be resilient and you have to have something to say. Think outside the box. You know what I'm saying? Think outside the box. Just because, other people are talking about what's popular, that's not going to work for you. I think you have to do what you have to go in your lane. What works for you. You know what I'm saying? So that's my take on things. That's what I would tell fellow content creators.
I just want to real briefly add on to what SBK was saying, right? The biggest takeaway that I also got from him is passion. You have to have passion as well too. If you don't have passion for doing this, you're just doing this just to try to make money, then 9 times out of 10 you're not going to be successful at all. It is not going to work unless you just jump into doing beef. Then that'll probably help for a short term, but other than that, you got to have passion for what you do, because if you have that passion is going to resonate with your audience. They're going to feel your passion, and that's what's going to pull the right people in, not the wrong people, not the trolls, but the right people into your content and be your subscribers.
Wow, man, that's true. That's as true as it gets right there.
Factuals.
Y'all brothers pretty much said it. Like I said, when you have panels like this where people share some of the same thoughts and have some of the same experiences on a journey, it makes it that much easier that, that whole saying, what's understood don't have to be explained. And y'all pretty much, detailed that. And I appreciate you brothers, coming on the panel and watching my videos and coming up and sharing your thoughts. That goes a long way. And I want to say I appreciate y'all, for us, of course, making this, this masterpiece right here of a live stream that somebody that's out content creating, I want to, jump into the journey of doing that. They can use this as a guideline, plus more, if you're in the audience watching right now, Mr. Urban and Mr. SBK, you can and I want you all to put y'all links in the chat too as well, and reach out to these guys too, and like I will do, because having this conversation and seeing that it's people that share the same thoughts, like SBK saying, it's all different types of ideas I have that can push the envelope forward. And this was great, man. I don't know about y'all, but this was a good talk. This was definitely a good talk, man. And I'm very appreciative to being able to partake in this, and for the people that's watching at home or wherever they're watching this at to witness this as well. Black men having a conversation and building on that. So thank you. Thank you, brothers. I just want to say thank you all.
Hey,
are you welcome?
Hey, thank you. So dope. Thank you, brother. Mr. Urban, I just subscribe to you, brother. Thank you for your perspective. This is not the end. If you have another, open panel, I'll be back. I'll be back. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Me too, for sure. Hey, what's your handle SBK?
It's SBKU goes. Well, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It said it's SBK.
Yes, sir.
And it's ETV, right?
It's just ETV. Yes, sir.
It's just ETV. Okay, you know what? Okay. So it's on the it's just ETV channel?
Well, it's on. Well, we double stream.
Okay. I see your channel right there. Okay. I'm subbing up right now. And I'm gonna also put you guys link in the chat. So it's available. Like I said, I appreciate you gentlemen coming up, man. Like you said, this isn't the last time. You know, now that I know I have,
yeah, not at all, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Now that I know that there's other people like-minded, and of course, like I said, we all won't agree or disagree, but for the most part, a conversation can be had, and you know, you get conversations like this that makes good content.
And like I extended Urban, I extended Also Dope. You know, I'd love to, I'd love to interview him. I'd love to interview you as well. Come up on the platform, brother. And, you know, let's chop it up. We can talk about whatever you want to talk about. So this is very encouraging to me to have men of like-minded, like you said, also the like-minded thoughts and you know, like I said, we all can never fully 100% agree with everything, but as long as we have healthy dialogue and just put it out there, you know, and just try to understand each other's perspectives, you know. But I love it, man. This is encouraging.
It really is, and like I said, I definitely appreciate you, gentlemen, man, for pulling up and sharing your perspective. You know, this made for a great live stream. I already had a vision too. I had a vision that I knew this live stream was going to be dope. You know, just speaking about the character Killmonger in itself, but to see, you know, other people share those thoughts and their perspective as well, and different perspectives too, you know, bringing it to different angles of, you know, how I looked at things. You know, it was insightful for me too as well. So, you know, this was dope. And like I said, I really appreciate the conversation.
And really I saw you advertise this a few days ago, Also Dope, and I was like, that sounds like something that I've always thought, you know, and I was like, man, this is going to be interesting. So I was like, it was dead on, you know what I mean? It was dead on as far as what I thought of the character as well. And if us three gentlemen, if we thought the same way, you know, how other people out there that are listening to us, you know, they think the same way too, and they can relate. So dope panel, man. Dope panel.
Definitely a dope panel. And I appreciate everyone in the chat as well. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Shouts out to Joe Delaney.
Factuals.
Shouts out to Lisa Queen B.
Factuals.
Shouts out to Rumorville in the building.
Factuals.
Rumorville says, keep showing us how black men have conversations. This is love. Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate that, Rumorville. Thank you for watching. You know, yeah, it definitely does something, you know, for the content. You know, this the content that, you know, has longevity to it, because I do believe in digital footprints.
Hey, well, when I heard that word factuals, I was thinking that you were saying it at first until I see you had the soundboard.
Yeah, so I said, because I was like, I don't want to be live and I gotta be like, yo, facts. So I'll say something like facts. I said, no, let me just put myself on the soundboard. So if I say something, it's just the click of a button. So yeah.
Oh, so that's you saying it.
Yeah, that's me. That's me saying it.
Factuals.
Yeah.
Hey, I need to record myself and do a sound.
Hey,
because I got a soundboard too. So
yeah, man. Hey, just and it, you know, it gives the originality to it and everything. So I say go for it, bro. Go for it. Personalize your live streams as much as possible. That's where I'm just trying to personalize it, you know, put my spin on it. Of course, we got a lot of ideas derived from other content creators, but when you got your own spin on it, you know, it's yours. It's authentic.
Yep. Facts. Factual. Hey, I enjoy y'all a whole lot, gentlemen. Man. I got a lot out of y'all too, man. And I appreciate it a whole lot.
Yes, sir, man. It was definitely one of the live streams that needed to happen. I knew this was going to, like I said, I knew this was going to be a good live stream, but it ended up exceeding that expectation. You know, this has been dope. Like you said, SBK, definitely a dope panel. SBK, I'll make sure I said your name right. SBK.
Not on HBK, Heartbreak.
Yeah, not Yeah, y'all got me over here critical now. Both of y'all handles and stuff. I said, let me make sure I get their name right, even though they messed me. Hey,
I'm actually shocked because a lot of people say Urban Lead Podcast. I don't know where they get lead out of lounge. But that's what I say every time I pull up with somebody on chat. Oh, shout out to Urban League Podcast. I'm like, league? What league came from? I'm like, all right, that's the name you want me to be. Okay.
Oh man, like I said, definitely a breath of fresh air. And showing everybody at home that, you know, conversations can definitely take place from anybody and anywhere from all the four corners of the world, man. Ideas and thoughts and opinions, you know, bring people together to, you know, share perspective. And again, I appreciate the chat and everybody that pulled up. And of course, again, you gentlemen, shout out to VA in the building.
Factuals.
Shout out to Team Truck.
Factuals.
Shout out to Selena 3 times.
Factuals.
Man, this was dope. This was really dope, man. And I appreciate you, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
So, this is OSD Live, aka Also Dope Live Reloaded. Sub up to the channel, sub up to SBK as well. His link is in the chat. Sub up to Urban Lounge Podcast. Urban link is in the chat as well. Sub up. I just subbed up as well. As y'all can see, it's just a little preview of content to come for the future. And this, like we said, this isn't the last time. You know, what y'all see is where it started from. Again, networking at its finest. Utilizing YouTube the way YouTube is supposed to be utilized. And again, thank you all for making this possible. This was great content, and I definitely see this being one of those videos that's great for digital footprints.
Absolutely.
Definitely,
Absolutely.
man. So again, sub up, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share this live stream, share the channel, sub up SBK, sub up to Urban Lounge Podcast. Also Dope Live Reloaded, aka OSD Live Reloaded. Protect your peace, protect your energy, always strive to make good decisions. Love yourself first. How can you love someone else without loving yourself first? OSD Live Reloaded. Appreciate y'all. And we gone.
Ease up, hoes down. Riding in my city, windows down, I love the sound. G's up, woes around. Get your money, give no fucks, 10 toes down. That butter worth it all once you get it. That butter worth it all once you get it. That butter worth it all once you get it. Lord knows I'm really focused on my mission. Timberland 40 belows with the laces relaxed. I feel good on this track. They be like, Steph, where you been? I ain't seen you in a minute. I reply and I tell them I'm just trying to handle business. Mathematics, arithmetic is about the algorithm. Waves to the brain while you relax to the alpha rhythm. That butter worth it all once you get it. Playing young thug digits on a mission, cause I gotta get it. The hustle never stop, cause it's about them digits, all about them digits. We gon' run it up, baby. She gon' get it, she gon' run it up. Bring it back to ends, counting cheese. Yes, Lord, she with it. That Pinot Grigio, so cold, just how I like it. Pouring up and celebrating, cause we know that life be life, and it can hit you with a crazy punch like a jab from Tyson. Stand on your own 10, keep fighting. Ease up, hoes down. Riding in my city, windows down, I love the sound. G's up, rolls around. Get your money, give no fucks, 10 toes down. That butter worth it all once you get it. That butter worth it all once you get it. That butter worth it all once you get it. Lord knows I'm really focused on my mission.